Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to cook something simple, but we're using something odd. Of course, that's what we do to spice up some salmon patties. Okay. Thank you to all my subscribers and everybody returning. If you haven't subscribed, just push that red button and then push on the bell because that will alert you when I get new updates and download new videos. Okay. And we're going to get right to it. Okay. What we're doing is we're going to go ahead and peel this avocado. Go ahead and peel that. And you see this is a smaller avocado that we're going to use today. And just get that skin off of there. Just peeling all the skin off. There. It tends to get stuck in there sometimes. Now we're using the rough kind of avocado today. Yeah, it gets pretty slippery. Go ahead and peel off the rest of this. A little bit more to go. Alrighty. Get all the skin off of there. And get a knife. Of course, I'm gonna cut this in half. And then on this avocado, it's not the same concept when you're getting it off of the pit. You're gonna have to kind of cut that from around the pit. It doesn't come off as easy as the smooth avocados do. Okay, we can get all that avocado out of there, and that's what we need. Okay, and we're going to get a bowl. Go ahead and mix up our ingredients. Okay, you can go ahead and cut this up. You want to get it kind of small if you can. It gets kind of messy because this avocado is a little bit different. The other one, I like it because you can control your cutting of it and everything. You can control that better. But this one is still going to do the job, but it'll be a lot softer than the other kind. So we're just going to go ahead and put that in our bowl. Put that in our bowl. Yeah, put that in there. Okay, so we got that in our bowl. We have already cut up our red onions. We used 2 red onions, but I think I'm going to back off of that some and just use this much. So that's probably a cup of your onions. Matter of fact, I'll put just a little bit more. Yeah, I'm a fan of onions, so that's not an issue for me. Then we're going to take, and we're using 4 hash browns. Now all you're going to do with these is you're going to crumble them up. You're going to crumble them up real small. Crumble up real small. And you can use regular potatoes if you like. This just was an easy way to get the potatoes, and then they'll crumble up better to go throughout the salmon patties. Okay, crumble that up. Okay, down, look down in this bowl. See, we crumbled that up. Can you see down in here? See down in the bowl, so you can see. And then you know what? Let me see, I'm looking at it. We're going to add this one, and then we're going to go ahead and open up those cans of salmon so we can see if we need any more potatoes at this point. We go ahead and open these up. Pour that water off of it. Pour all the water off of it. And then we're going to dump that in. 1 can. Okay, no, like I always say, everything is to flavor. And it's also, according to how many people you're cooking this for, is going to determine how many cans of your salmon you're going to use also. Now, this recipe you can also use mackerel. Some people like mackerel, but I do pink salmon. All right? So what we're going to do is, we're going to get into this. And our next ingredient is going to be the poultry season and the onion powder. Well, we're not going to use the onion powder. You know my old faithful. Garlic powder. Sorry about that. So garlic powder. We're saying maybe a half a teaspoon. And then your poultry season, you're going to use this. Cut this and we'll rinse that knife off. Yeah. Okay. And we're going to say maybe a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of this. And everything's to flavor. All right. So we've used those two. And then we're going to need 2 eggs. Yeah. Just going to need 2 eggs. 1, 2. Put these down here. Yeah. 2 eggs. Okay, you go ahead and crack those eggs. Put that in there. And crack the other one. And put that in there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and start smushing this up. And see here, when you're smushing up the salmon, you want to kind of put your fingers through there and feel. Because you know canned salmon is going to have little bones in it. They will, see, like this is a bone. And see, you just take and squish that with your fingers and it automatically disintegrates. Yeah. So any of the little bones, that's why we're going through here, because we want to make sure any of the little bones that are in it, you'll see them. You can just squish them with your hands and they'll squish right up like they were never there. Yeah, so we're just going through there and making sure all that salmon, any bones that would have been in there, are getting squished up. Now mixing that egg around at the same time. Now if you find that it's not sticking together well, don't be afraid to add another egg. You know, how many eggs you add are going to be according to how many cans of salmon and how much you have with it. Okay? I'm thinking we might need another egg. So, let's see real quick. I'm going to get me another egg. So, go ahead and take another egg out of here. And go ahead and put that in there. All right. And then just take and get that egg going around in there. Because the egg is what's going to keep the salmon together. See, that's a little bit better now. Yeah. And then you can just tell when you do like that, yep, we're at the right consistency when it starts doing that. Okay? It can never really be too much egg. So if you think you need another one at that point, you can go ahead and add another one. Okay? I'm thinking that's going to be okay. Okay? And then we decided against using the other hash brown. But we don't want to waste it, so we're going to go ahead and use that. Go ahead and crumble up that last one. And since we're adding some more semi-dry ingredients, we're going to go ahead and add another egg. So, let's go and get another one of these out of here. I'm going to crack that, put that on in there. Okay, that didn't hurt nothing to nobody. Okay, so really getting it in there and getting that mixed up really well. Because also you put those seasonings in there, so you want to make sure those seasonings are getting mixed around really well too. Okay, so we got that mixed up really well, and we're going to move to our next step. Okay, let's rinse off your hands, and now we're moving to our next step. Okay, this next step is what we're going to do to the cornmeal to take it up. And we're going to sit this over here, and we're going to need this bag. Okay. The cornmeal is there, and we're going to need a bowl for it also. Okay. This is just the regular cornmeal, maybe a cup or a cup and a half we're going to put in here. Okay. And now we're going to take this. We're using bean chips. You want to crush these up. Not a lot comes in the bag anyway, but these are what we're using. And this is our different ingredient we're using. All we're doing is putting this in the bag. And after we put that in the bag, we're going to start crushing that up. We want to crush that up real finely. I'm going to take see if my rolling pin is in here. And that's what we're going to use. We're going to go ahead and crush that up. She's going to take that rolling pin. And you're just going to keep on rolling it on there. Because we were actually grinding this up almost to a powder. Yeah, we're grinding this up to a powder. Because we're adding that to the cornmeal. Okay? You see that? Just keep right on crushing that up. Right on crushing that up. And sometimes you can even leave it in the bag and it'll do well too. Okay? Okay, let's switch that around. I'm grinding that up. See that? Yeah, grinding that up. All right. You're going to look down in that bag and see that? When it starts looking like that, we're good. So that means now we're going to go ahead and add this to our cornmeal. Okay? Add this to the cornmeal. The one thing about these bean chips is they have a lot of other things in them. They're a good source of fiber. So you're going to put that in there. And you're just going to stir that around into the cornmeal. Now you want to use comparable amount of the bean chips in comparison to the cornmeal. Okay? So we're doing that. Okay. Okay, now we got that mixed up. I'll take this and this. Bye-bye. Okay. Put these up. Little onions. Put our seasonings back over here. And we're good. Put this up. Put this up. All righty. So now we got the cornmeal here. Put this over here. Now, you know me. I like to put a little heat to it. You can either use the red and green peppers, or you can just use cayenne pepper. Okay? So I'm going to use one of each. Green, and no, two of each. And we're going to take these and we're going to cut these up real little. Real little. And just keep on cutting them. Yeah. You feel like you can't cut them no more. And make long strokes so that they accurately separate when you cut them. I'm going to take that next one. And you're doing the same thing. You cut it up real good. Okay? Make sure you're cutting that really good. And you're just going to keep on putting it together and cutting. Putting it together and cutting. Okay? Putting it together and cutting it, y'all. Okay? The finer it is, the better it is. Okay? You go ahead and take and sprinkle this around. Now we're going to sprinkle this in there all around. Okay? We're getting all the stuff out. Be mindful. Those red chilies and green chilies, they're hot. So as soon as you're done putting those in there, you want to continue to wash your hands off. Because if you forget and you slip and wipe your eye or anything, it's going to be a problem. Okay? So please be mindful of that. Now we're going to get back in here and we're going to mix that around in there. Okay? Mixing that all around to make sure you just see a speck of the green and the red here and there. You don't want to see it in a concentrated area. Because you're going to get a bite of that and woo, it's not going to be a joke. Okay? So now, we're ready to start pattying these up. Okay? Now, you know me. I just take a handful. Now, when I do my salmon patties, I don't make those as big most of the time. But we can make them a nice size. They can be a nice size, okay? So, go ahead. Patty that up. Get another one. Patty it up. Okay. Take another one. Patty it up. See that? Move that around. See, those are how they're supposed to look. Okay. Okay. So that was 2 cans of the pink salmon. Okay. And then we'll make 2 smaller ones as we kind of run aground. Okay. You cook according to your family or according to who you might be having over that you're going to fix this meal for. And just get all the rest of that out the bowl. And that last patty takes shape. Alrighty. Now, we patted these up, so go ahead and get rid of that. And wash off again. And we're taking our favorite pot, our favorite skillet, whichever you want to call it. Alright. And we're going to add some coconut oil to this. Okay. And you just pour some in there over that bottom till you think it's enough grease in the pan. They don't have to swim, but you are going to need a little bit. You know. Yeah, you're going to need a little bit. See in that pan? So you can come over here and see in the pan about how much is down in there. So you want the whole pan to be having that coconut oil in because you don't want them to burn. Okay? You got that eye on high, of course. So we're going to go ahead and get that heated up. Well, now, I'm going to transfer these to the next plate. So what we're doing is we're grabbing a hold of the patty. And put the patty, lay it down in there, and then sprinkle over the top. Just be careful, sprinkle over the top, because these, like our burgers we did, the Cajun stir-fry burgers, you're going to have to make sure you're going easy because you don't want it to break up, okay? So we got that coated real nicely. Let that excess fall off. And then, is that pan hot? Drop something in there to kind of tell. We're going to sit that there. And go ahead. Sit that down in there. And then start sprinkling that over the top. Okay, are you seeing that? Right. So, one side to the other. And just keep right on sprinkling. Patting and sprinkling. Because you want it to stick. And put that down. Now, I'm here in the pan. So that means it's getting close to time for us to go on and drop them in there. Sprinkle around on top. Okay. Pat and flip. Pat and flip. Pat and flip. Okay. Okay. Is we ready? No, not yet. So just keep on right on covering those patties. Sit it down in there and sprinkle over the top. Get up from around the sides, sprinkle over the top. You're going to pick that up and you're patting it. Keep sprinkling and patting. Sprinkle, pat, sprinkle, pat. Okay? Because you want to get the flavor of those chips on here. And you can use really any kind of chips. I only eat certain kinds because I want it to have some type of nutritional value to it. And those are chips that I will eat for a snack that are better than eating potato chips. Okay? So you just keep sprinkling that and pat. Sprinkle, pat. Okay? Sprinkle, pat. Sit this one back down here. Okay? It's almost time for us to get them going in that pan. Okay? Pick it on up. Sprinkle, pat. Sprinkle, and pat. And you're, of course, patting some of that in there so that that seasoning and those chips are staying on there. Last one in the bucket. Okay. Sprinkle, pat. Sprinkle, pat. Okay. Now we went ahead and made another meat because I still have some greens left over from the greens no meat that I made. So we're probably going to eat that with those. All right. That skillet's doing its thing. Make sure it's nice and hot because just like with the burgers, if you turn them too soon, they're going to fight. Okay? See that? That's when you know the grease is ready. Okay? Stick that one in there. And we're going to put that one in there. Be careful because you see they're already trying to fight. So make sure pressing them together so they can go on and get in there. Now you're not going to turn them until it's partially done on that side to where it's going to make that stay together. Okay? So you want to be careful. Okay, you see that? When you start seeing those edges change, then you know it's going to be almost time for you to move it. See? You might have some trouble moving it. See what I'm saying? Once you can move it, it's a sign that it's almost time to turn it. But be careful because you don't want them to fall apart on you. Okay? When you pick that up and you see it going out, squeeze it a little together. And you're going to lay it down in there. Let's get us another one. This one seems to be pretty good. And you're going to lay that one down in there. Okay? Now be mindful of the ones you've already laid down in there. You're going to wash this off so when they're done, you got something to put them on. Alrighty? Oh, it's smelling good. Oh, yeah. Tell you, nothing like the smell of fresh salmon patties. Okay, you put that on there for a few minutes. Okay, we're going to wait a few minutes for that. Wait. The rest of our stuff. Okay. We got that right. We can go ahead and clean off our counter. So this was something easy and simple. But we use something odd that you wouldn't expect to use in order to just take that flavor up a little bit. You know, we're cooking some of the same dishes we're used to eating, but you want to start making them just a little different. Okay, we're going to hang on to that, and you're just going to flip that over. See that? There you go. See, that's the one you have to be careful. Have to be careful with it. Okay, okay. There you go. You see that? Make sure you're doing that. See, that one's trying to fight. See that? It almost got to fighting. See, so be careful. That's one of the ones that hadn't been in as long. So when you see it, look like it's going to fight. You just let it alone for a few seconds. Go ahead and pick that up and flip it over. There you go. Now leave it still, because it will fight you. And it won't be a pretty picture. Okay. Letting that flip over. Okay. We're going to put that top on there and let that cook for a minute. Now, it's good to incorporate fish in your diet. Omega-3s are very good for you. They have the fish oil. You can also take omega-3 to increase your healthiness, of your body. You want to always be mindful of things that you're cooking. So you're cooking something that's going to increase the value of your health. You just don't want to be eating and you're getting no nutritional value out of it. You want to make sure there's a nutritional value in what you're eating. Okay? So, right here. Now they're getting there. Okay. And that's going to cook. And like I said, we had already made greens from the day before, or a couple of days ago. And those greens with no meat is what we're going to eat with this today. Okay? So we get us out a plate. And the greens with no meat are going to go on here too. And that's going to be our ending plate. I'm going to take some of these and just go on and heat them up in the microwave so that we can get our dinner plate together. And just put some of those in there. Don't be afraid to eat you some greens. Eat you some greens if you're going to eat them. They're healthy for you. I'm going to stick that in the microwave. Go ahead and put that top back on there. And we can take that top on off of there. It does not take long for the salmon patties to get where they need to be. Now, you don't have to, but I turn them one more time. Or as they say, one more again, we're going to turn these. Turn them one more again. Now, one more. Uh-oh, that one's trying to fight. You see what I'm talking about when I say they'll try to fight you. Alrighty. Alright. A couple more minutes on that. We're going to go ahead and get those greens out and start our dinner plate. And we'll be done. Alrighty. Okay. Now, got those greens nice and hot. Yep. So we're going to just put those on our plate. Go ahead and put those on our plate. Yep. Run some of that hot liquor off of there. Alrighty. Alright. Now we're ready for 2 patties. And somebody else is going to be ready to chow down. Okay. You got one of them salmon patties on there. But I know my Debo. And one probably ain't going to be enough. Alright. So now we put those on there. And I'll go ahead and stick these other 2 in here. Because they can go on and cook. Wow. We're ready to eat on the oven. Leave that in there and you turn that down. So this right here is what it made. And this time, I'm going to give a little taste on that. Okay? So, of course, we know the greens. And I think after you make those greens, look for that greens with no meat. That's on there too. It's even better a couple of days later because all of the flavors and stuff marinate into the greens. And this right here, let's try this. Oh, boy. Now, like and subscribe. Try this recipe out. I think you're going to love it. Thanks so much. And until next time, touch, taste, talk, and travel. If you ain't traveling, you ain't living. Because traveling means you're eating something different. And that's what you get here. Bye-bye.